Hey y'all, what's going on? This is your boy Drew here, back with another one, and I'm about to tell you about my experiences as a bass boat owner. But two things: one, how do you get your rig tournament ready as far as the boat itself, when it comes down to choosing the right boat, what will you need, and then the decision you have to make. Do you want to go with that new, or do you want to go with a used boat and make it look new? So please stay tuned. Strike Zone TV is here, y'all, and that's my YouTube channel now, Strike Zone TV, where I'll be dropping awesome fishing content in my pursuit of becoming a professional bass angler, or at least a high-level, high-money-earning bass angler, while maintaining my career as well. So the first thing, y'all, what I did was, I say a few years ago, I bought a starter boat, and it was a Stratus Pro 275 XL with a Mercury 115 Optimax on it. It was a great boat. I beat the hell out of it. And by beating the hell out of it, I learned everything about boating. I learned what not to do, how to drive a boat, how to deal with boat problems, how to fix boat problems, how to keep a boat looking clean all year, how to make your boat, how to add things onto your boat to make it better. I went through all those processes and those trials and tribulations. And so I am so thankful for those experiences, because without those experiences and going through that, I would not have been able to get the boat I have right today, and I would not have been able to make a decision on what I did to get this boat. And so after I decided that I was ready to step up to a new boat, at least new to me, I had to, I was able to confidently make the decision of saying I'm gonna do a restore, because the price tag on the boat I wanted, which would have been like a new Ranger or a new Blazer or a Camus, was going to be $100,000, or maybe like $80,000 to $100,000 at the door, brand new. I wasn't going to pay $70,000 or $60,000 for somebody else's used boat, because I just felt like that was ridiculous. And why would I pay that much for a used boat when I could buy a new one for 10,000 more bucks? I wasn't going to do that. And so I decided to go with a restore. And the reason I did that was because of my confidence in my skill set that I learned from the starter boat. If I didn't do what I had to do in order to keep that boat running and keep it clean, and to install different things, whatever I did to it, I would not have made this decision. I did everything from carpet to motor maintenance to electronics to wiring, lights, anything you could think of on the boat, I've done. And so without learning and messing my boat up and fixing it and all those things, I wouldn't have been able to make this decision. So I ended up finding a Blazer bass boat in Alabama, Titus, Alabama, stored in a uncovered shed situation. The boat was terrible looking. The paint was oxidized, the carpet was trash, seats were trash, no trolling motor. But what attracted me to it was the hull itself, the potential of the hull, and it had a Yamaha VMAX 250. Quick thing about the motor, it ran good for a year. The people I had servicing it to keep it, I guess, in good running order as far as getting it checked out by a professional, kind of steered me wrong, and I think it bit me in the butt on the back end, because the motor lasted a year. It should have lasted multiple years, but they didn't check it thoroughly in the way that I needed them to check it, and I ended up blowing a cylinder on it, and it should never have happened. But I'm not going to bash anybody. But the most expensive thing I had to do was buy a new motor, which was the new Suzuki 250 SS 2023, and that was $17,000 for that guy. But that, again, is a whole different conversation. That's factored into my boat restore price. And I knew, worst case scenario, that would be the biggest expense I had to do, which was a new motor. But when you're weighing the cost of a brand new bass boat at $100,000 and potentially having to get a new motor, but that's it, you think about those things and that decision. So I ended up going with the restore, wet sanded the hell out of the entire boat, brought her back to life, had to shine like new seats myself, new carpet myself. I didn't do new electronics. I already had them for my old boat, but I added a couple more grafts. So I have 4 grafts on my boat. The pumps, everything new there, deck lights, and just the overall cleanness of the boat. I now have a bass boat that looks new, rides like new, and even though it's a 2010, everything on it feels new and looks new. I have a, Minn Kota Ultrex 36 volt, 112 pound thrust, everything about lithium batteries, everything you could want for a boat as far as the bells and whistles, I think I have it. Talons, I went with Talons because I already had one Talon before, so it was just cheaper to buy one more Talon opposed to a whole new power pole setup. So with all that said, my Blazer has 2 Talons in the back, Helix 12 and a Garmin 12 on the front, 2 Garmins at the driver console. It's a dual console boat. I got DD26 products. I got everything you think of that you would want on a boat to trick it out. I think I have most everything that I want. I can't think of any add-ons at this point, I don't think. So my boat is actually complete now. It has new seats in it, everything. They sit up high, big chairs. And so with all that said, like my price tag, I would say is a quarter, or not a quarter of the price, maybe more than or less than that, of a new boat. But with the restore, I think I've definitely made an investment in my boat that it makes it worth maybe 8 times more than what I paid for it, right? I paid like $8,000 for the boat. I think it's worth 8 times more than that. Maybe 5 times more than that. I don't know. It's definitely worth every penny. And I think if I was to sell it, my price tag would probably be like high 30s, mid 40s. Maybe it could touch 50, but I think the high 30s to low 40s is probably more realistic for my boat right now, based on the restore and all the add-ons I have on it. And again, that's going from a boat that was only, was $8,000 out of a barn. It may be worth more than that with the new motor. I mean, I'm not sure, but I just know what I got, and I'm not getting, I'm keeping with this boat for a long time. If not, this is my last boat I'll probably buy until I hopefully win another one or something like that. I don't know, but I have everything I want, so I'm totally satisfied with it. And I would say that the skills of having a starter boat and learning how to boat and learning how to take care of a boat definitely aided my decision in buying a used restore project boat. And so with that, if you're gonna go that route, there's a few things I recommend. One, doing your research and knowing what type of look you want for your boat. And what I mean by that is that there are certain brands of the boats that look dated, right? And so it's like buying a car. If you buy one and that body style is no longer relevant, you may not like it as much as you thought you did when you got it. So for me, when I made that decision, I knew that I wanted the body style to be timeless, at least for the foreseeable future. And so there's a few boats out there that have that: Gambler, Blazer, and Bullet. Those 3 boats right there, in my opinion, and Allison also, those 4 boats right there have a timeless look to them. They look futuristic. Even though the brand new ones look very similar to the older ones, even the ones in the 90s, they still look the same. And so to me, that was one piece right there. I would throw Champion in there as well, even though they don't make them anymore. That big wide deck it comes with in the front, they still have a good clean look to them that's very desirable. And so those type of boats to me kind of take the cake when it comes to buying a restore project boat, because you're not going to be looking at your boat like, oh man, I wish I had a new one, or oh, I wish that my boat looked like that new Ranger. I don't ever think that. And it's because my boat I compare it to a Ferrari or a Corvette. It's always going to look good. It's always going to turn heads. It's always going to be fast as hell. And even if as it ages, it's like a classic car, right? And so it's always going to have that nice look to it where people are going to want to know, what year's that boat? How long have you had it for? How'd you get to look like that? So for me, I'm going to aim for one of those high performance bass boats that are that have a good look to them and that can be restored. Once you do that, assess the project and know if it's within your skill set. If it's within your skill set, go for it, and just know it's going to take some time to get done. 6 months to maybe a year. Now, I'm not saying done means you can't fish it. Of course you can fish it, but if you're going to piecemeal together, carpet takes time, wet sand takes time, seats take time, upgrading your electronics and all that good stuff take time. And so I would say that, plan on 6 months or, to a year. I mean, you can do it in a month or 2 if you spend all the money at once. If not, take your time. As long as it's fishable and you can plan on restoring it, do that. And then just take your time and get her done. But overall, y'all, my Blazer 210 Pro V is one of the dopest boats out there. It feels like a brand new bass boat in every angle of it. And so very happy with my decision to do the restore opposed to buying a brand new boat. And so I wouldn't have changed that. If I could change one thing, like I said, it would have been having a different dealership go through the old motor I had, because me getting a new motor was not necessary. But because of, like I said, there were some bolts around the pistons or something like that were on backwards, and after a year they finally just, the cylinder blew out. And so it is what it is. Overall, I am so happy with my decision, even with the motor situation I had. And so if you have any questions, y'all, hit me up on Strike Zone TV. You're more than welcome to follow, subscribe. I'm doing this for the love of fishing and the love of my experiences. And so I'm not in this YouTube thing for the money or the fame. I just want to make sure people can have good experiences and save them some headaches like I had, and help them make a good informed decision. So like, comment, subscribe. Any questions y'all have about restoring a boat or about fishing tournaments or around how I got to this position where I am with my boat and what decisions I made around doing the restore, hit me up, y'all. I'm excited to talk to you. But now I gotta go. I'm gonna hit the water. See my boat in the back right there. Check out my boat with the next video I have in the walkthrough. All right, y'all. Peace.